I'm Dan.
I'm Ryan.
And this is Bourbon Sauce. Welcome back. So this week we're going to talk about distilleries. But before we do that, we did something we haven't done in a minute and did a blind pour for each other. Not sure if we've had these together. I'm pretty certain Ryan hasn't had the one that I poured him today.
And I'm pretty sure you haven't had the one I poured for you.
So this is going to be fantastic.
Yes.
This is dark as shit.
This one's dark, but not as dark as what you have.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison, this one's just a tad darker.
Yeah.
I mean, just a tad. Oh, it smells good, though. This one's got a really good, like, caramel toffee.
Mine smells almost like I got a cast finish. Is mine cast finish?
No.
I get a lot of aromatics, a lot of floral.
Yeah, I think you should get floral on that one.
Yeah. Which is kind of what pushed me towards the cast. Because a lot of the wine casts we've had are very aromatic and floral
cheers.
forward.
Let's see what
Cheers.
these taste like.
Ooh. It's got some heavy oak.
This one's very smooth.
I knew he was gonna say that. Yeah, this is
good. I think I know what this is, though.
This is very oak forward.
I think this is one that you bought more recently.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't one that was gifted to us, right?
Mm-mm.
I'm going to say this is a Cooper Craft. Oh, bam. Look at that.
Ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
My taste buds are back, boys. What's up?
Well, I mean, it helped narrow it down.
Mm-hmm. This is one you found.
tasting.
I'm going to tell you, this is one you found for me.
One I found for you.
Yeah. And we've done a review on one that's in its wheelhouse last year.
Its wheelhouse.
Yeah, we did a review on it last year's. In that hierarchy. What do they call that? They call it something else where it's like a tier, but it's not tiered. It's called something else. You know what I mean?
Family?
Sure. Maybe same family.
Man, that's got a lot of wood.
Which means it's old, huh?
Yeah.
This one's pretty solid. I know that you who did somebody recommend this one to you? Or was this just like one of those dumb luck things you were at the store and you were like, I want to try this?
What is this? What is this?
You don't know?
No.
No guess.
You
You don't want to take a stab at it. I already told you we did a review in the family last year, and it was a cask finish that we did.
Oh, is this the one? This ain't one of the I.W. Harpers, is it? Is that what this is?
Exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's the 15-year
Okay.
I.W. Harper.
It's very, very wood forward.
Yeah, so for 15-year, it's really good though. I liked it when I opened it the one day. But it's interesting.
It's very wood forward.
Yeah, so that's what you're drinking, and that's what I'm drinking. Two
I
different
like this better.
Yeah, for sure. It's younger, but it tastes is better.
Mm-hmm.
I think the taste is a little more complex on the Cooper's Craft, which is interesting for it being I would say a relatively newer distillery. And there's, I'm not 100% certain where their juices.
They're out of
Louisville.
Yeah. So
this is a Brown Forman product. Okay.
Yes.
So this is out of
This is directly
Old
from
Forester and
No. So this is directly from Brown Forman.
oh, so this is sourced from Brown Forman
Yes.
specifically.
Whereas Old Forester and Woodford fall under Brown Forman.
Yeah, I like Brown Forman stuff.
I do too.
And this one's from their Chiseled and Charred collection for Cooper's Craft. It's a barrel reserve, 100 proof.
That was a $27 bottle.
It's only $27. I don't remember what this one cost when you found it.
This one I think
Or
was
was this one I bought online, or was this the one you found, or did you find the other IW Harper?
I found the Cass is what I found. You ordered this online.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I found the straight bourbon.
Gotcha.
You ordered this one online when you ordered the Derringer, the Von Payne, and the
Oh, yeah, the
cigar blend.
yep,
Yeah.
the Joe's Magnus stuff.
On post, this runs about $27. Off post, it'll run you $30 to $35.
And a lot of people can't find that in their area. So if you guys are curious, and you want a handshake, let us know.
Or if you want some olive oil,
Or if you want a bottle of it,
let us know.
let us know. We can always try to hook you up. Didn't you send Bourbon Hunter one of those?
I did.
Shout out to Bourbon Hunter.
I did.
Thanks for your support, buddy.
He very much enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah.
I like when that works out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, just like when we go on these distillery tours and they work out for us. I like that too. And
I do too.
We've been on a few of them already,
We have.
which has been good. Things that you would recommend people to prepare themselves for a distillery tour. What do you think is something that people should think about before they go on a tour?
Definitely be prepared to spend time in non-climate controlled areas.
Mm-hmm.
So take that into account depending on what time of year you're going.
Yep.
Just be prepared for that. Also, depending on what time of the week you go, be prepared for it to be a little busier. And also, there's times where certain areas might be closed just because they're trying to adjust temperature in the rick house or whatever.
Or they're not necessarily like that, because like MB Rollin', for example.
Mm-hmm.
They had that one room where they do the mash and stuff kind of closed off from everybody.
Mm-hmm. And you
I
have to look through the window.
and you got to look through the window. So they try to keep it so people don't bring all their germs or taint their mash bill
Yeah.
with their.
Or is it Casey Jones? They let you taste it and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
and I
right?
liked that the experience, because with Casey Jones we found, as they have the different mashes in there,
Right.
and the fermenters, and you taste one, and you can tell where it's at before they pull it out and strain
Right.
it and do all their things. It basically looks like a vat of oatmeal,
Right.
which is kind of cool to see.
I think one of my fun points at MB Rollin' though was actually getting to tap the barrel.
Oh yeah, that was cool with Paul.
Yeah, getting to actually tap the barrel and taste straight from the barrel. That was a cool experience.
Oh yeah, look at that liquid gold coming out of there.
And
Yeah.
then the rick house was wide open, so you could kind of walk around and explore a little.
And if you guys are curious, we do have those on our Patreon for subscribers, members, whatever you want to call them on Patreon. Patreonites, Urbanites.
Well,
BSers.
technically, MB Rollins drops next week. on
But,
Patreon, but Casey's is already there.
Yeah, for those people that want to see those tours and stuff, we keep them exclusively for our Patreon members. So
Mhm.
head over to our Patreon, and link's going to be in the description below so you guys can find it. But I agree with you. Temperature and noise are things that people probably aren't prepared for in some of those distilleries tours. We've been fortunate to go when Casey Jones didn't have operations going on,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a lot quieter. And same with MB Rollin', we were able to go when they didn't have operations. But Leatherwood,
Now, the last time we went back to Casey Jones, they were actually processing.
right?
So that was good, but I mean, it wasn't super noisy.
I think I would prefer it to be operational, because then you see everybody doing everything,
Right.
versus when it's kind of like a museum in a
Mhm.
way where there's nothing going on. It's just kind of like all pristine and clean, and
Right.
it's just like, okay, whoa.
And
Guys
then
actually do anything here.
I guess Leatherwood, you wouldn't really even say that's a tour per se.
Well, they're not really offering full tours yet. I think that's something they're preparing to do, especially when they open up their new location in downtown Clarksville.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be something that's going to be offered for people that show up for that restaurant, distillery type environment.
I mean, I love Andy, but literally you open the door and it's like, here's the distillery, and you shut the door and that's your tour.
Yeah, it is a good layout for them though.
Oh, it is.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, bam, everything's here. Bam, it goes into their storage, and then the bottling. He's got this huge bottling line that they're about to have there. It looks similar to what Casey Jones has.
Yep.
Which is cool. Which is something else, if you guys are curious with distillery tours, a lot of distillers will do, at the end of it, you can bottle your own bourbon. So be prepared for, if you want to pay for that additional thing, because a lot of them don't include it in the tour unless it's like the bigger ones like Buffalo Trace,
Right.
Wild Turkey, some of those bigger establishments, but you're paying up front for that, because like MB Roland and Casey Jones and Nelson's and some of these people that are close to us, their tour cost isn't much. It's like $20, but you don't really get anything at the end of it.
Now,
unless you do the
tasting,
state line
thing
with MB Roland, Casey Jones, and Old Glory.
Yep. And then you get the flight board and
the shot glasses.
Yep.
Which is another cool like marketing point. So, it gets you to go see those distilleries, which is kind of cool.
Come back to me.
Come back to me. I think other things that people should be prepared for on distillery tours is going in with an open mind, because they're going to have things for you to try in their tastings that you probably weren't prepared to try out, that you hadn't seen maybe on the shelves in your local stores. So like we were able to taste moonshines, and we were able to taste their flavored stuff, and like MB Roland had that pink lemonade, which was crazy good,
and St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like, it's not just bourbon or whiskey that you're gonna try when you're on these tours.
What did Mary Beth say St. Elmo's Fire was? It's what Fireball wished it could be.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I agree with her.
Yes.
I think.
Oh my God, it's delicious.
It's funny because it reminded me of like a mixture of like Aftershock. Which is kind of like a cinnamon, schnapsy, whatever. And Fireball had a baby.
See, me, when I tried it, I immediately went to the Atomic Fireball hard candy.
Yeah. But she said it's like the Red Hots.
And I mean, I can see that and I can taste it.
Yeah.
But like for me, the first candy that popped in my head was the Atomic Fireball hard candy.
Those things are, and for those of you who are younger and probably haven't had them, you should probably go to a candy store and find some of those, because they're delicious candies.
They are.
The small doses, because,
Oh, and now I got my point back. So what I was adding to, how you talked about the tours were roughly about $20-ish bucks. And then also some of your distilleries vary on if the tour includes the price of a tasting or not.
Right.
And then some will have a separate cost for the tasting. So if you don't have time for a tour, you can go into these and just do a tasting.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. I would also suggest bringing, like, sometimes it's good to bring your own glass.
Yeah.
Or some sort of vessel to drink out of. You can buy stuff from them, or oftentimes on their tasting tours, they'll give you those little like shot glass, like thimbles or whatever they are. But if you're doing something with the distillers, or you get a chance where they possibly are going to tap a barrel with you there, it's always good to have a backup cup. And so,
I mean, if you're going to do that, though, you just might as well go to Aged and Ore and get one of those.
That's right. You should just go to agedandore.com and check them out. Grab some of those.
What's up, everybody? It's Dan from Bourbon Sauce. If you guys have not seen on our channel, we love Aged and Ore products. I've got 3 different products here to show you. First is this Traveler single serve case that they've got. They've got it in different colors. I got it in blue because blue's my favorite color, clearly. Inside the container, there's a glass and a vessel to contain your bourbon. And it's got a little sight glass there, so you can see how many ounces are actually in it. And it goes up to a 2-ounce pour, or a little bit more if you overfill it like I do, because I'm a heavy pourer. But Also comes with a spare grommet that goes inside this in case you happen to melt it on accident in the dishwasher, because you're really not supposed to put it in the dishwasher. You should probably wash it by hand. But it comes with this little case. Also, they've got a 4-pack matching color case that you can buy, and it has 4 more of those vessels and a white marker, so you can label what's inside your vessel here. So when you're traveling, or maybe you're going to a friend's house for a barbecue or whatever, you can take some samples, little handshakes, if you will, for your friends to try out. One of our favorite things that we like to use on the channel is their flights. Oh, I got you, didn't I? There's grommets that hold them in place, and they're labeled. Look at this, etched beautifully, A, B, C, D. So that way there's no guessing what's in what glass. You know for sure, A, B, C, D. You can try 4 different types. AgentOr.com, they've got great products. Psych, got you again. Those grommets really work, man. You can hang them on a wall, you can hang them upside down, you can do whatever you want with them. You can even travel with them. Just put them in your suitcase, maybe wrap some socks in them or something, I don't know. But if you're gonna travel, I think for sure you want this with the 4, and then these, you can take these with you when you go somewhere, and your friends can try them out in the flights, or maybe you get 4 of those other glasses, and then you have 4 glasses, 4 vessels, and then you can take some spares with you. Either way, AgentOr.com, check them out. We are not affiliated yet, but hopefully we will be if you help us out. We'll see.
Which, by the way, I got a new thing coming from them. They have a, it's like a,
The travel decanter.
yes.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. I get their feed pops up on everything.
So I bought their travel decanter. That should be here next week or so, which I thought was a cool idea, because then take something in addition to those mini flights.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have
So like when you go to California.
Like when I go to California.
Yeah. You got to
Exactly.
stock up.
So that was kind of my idea, was being able to take all the different stuff so we can still remotely record while I'm out there.
I think that could actually be a good one.
What's that?
The remote recording. Because depending on where you are, maybe you can go sit up on the beach one day.
Maybe. I don't know.
I could see it now. You're on the beach.
Pretty sure
and
we're going to Fort
recording,
Irwin. So.
And then next thing I know, you're getting arrested for drinking on the beach.
Or driving intoxicated.
Let's not do that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know if we're working the weekends there or not. I hope not.
Oh, you're going to Irwin.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
There's no beach.
No, I have to drive to it.
I guess it's all beach. No water.
It's all mountainous beach.
It's all beach, no water.
Yeah, high desert. No fun for nobody.
No, thank you.
They need to figure out a better location than that. That one sucks.
And then also, I would say do research on the distillery that you're planning to go to, and see what they have. So, like for instance, Casey Jones, they'll have food trucks, right? Yep. You don't know what the food truck's going to be till you get there. Yeah. But they're going to have live music typically, and then they have places for you to sit and hang out, and a bar that you can drink and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah,
and buy drinks. And then, like, if you go to Casey Jones, or not,
and be rolling.
If you go to, like, Leatherwood, for instance, they're going to have live music. They're going to have the bar. They're going to have food truck, but you're not going to get a tour. But it's a great place to go and hang out, socialize, listen to music, try some local bourbon, right?
I do like that most of these places are family friendly for those of you who have kids that are worried about it, or if you have a dog that you want to bring. Sometimes these places are open to, kids and dogs and whatever.
Well, doesn't Leatherwood have a kids' playroom?
Yeah, they do.
As soon as you walk in the door, left-hand turn, kids' playroom.
But it's for like real small kids,
right?
Not like preteen kids. Like my kid,
right?
He's at that age where that room would not do him any benefit. But if your kid's like 6 and under, right, that's a great little area to throw him in.
I feel like he could lay on the bench and just watch 30-second videos all day.
Yeah, probably if he had his iPad,
right?
That'd be a good little spot. But
I mean, like Casey Jones, you can take kids, you can go on the tour, but the kids can't be around the tasting, right? So obviously, those are things you got to take into account. Also, you have some of these distilleries like Casey Jones, who are members of the, what is that called?
Like a guild?
No, it's the arbor or harp. I forgot what it is, but basically, like if you're traveling through in your camper, you can actually stop there, spend the night without hookups.
Oh yeah. Boondocking.
It's boondocking, but they're a member of some kind of program. I forgot what the program is. But
Oh.
basically, if you're traveling through in your camper or RV, you can boondoggle there for the night. So some distilleries have stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you have some who have super crazy stuff going on all the time. So you just got to
Right.
do a little research.
Yeah, I do think that doing some due diligence before you go to a distillery is prudent. You know, knowing what you're kind of getting into, what the environment's going to be like, how you should dress when you go in there. Because, you know, you go into other places that are more indoors and it's more climate controlled.
Yep.
Versus where it's more open air, like MB Rolling, it's more open in a barn setting, and you got Casey Jones, a similar thing where it's outdoors, and it can get pretty damn hot.
Yes, it can.
So, you know, I wouldn't say wear a tank top or anything, but I mean, if you wanted to, you could.
Right.
I don't think they're going to push you away, but
No, I don't think they would. They might sell you a tank top.
I do also like that they have their own like craft mixed drinks at a lot of those places too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're one of those people that is like, you know, you don't like drinking it straight and you want to do it in a cocktail, a lot of those places will do you a favor and they've got their own stuff there, whether it's an old fashioned or a Paloma
Or the elderberry.
Like Leatherwood's elderberry. Bro, I bought 2 cases of that shit. That was in there. I was in there and I bought 1 case and then Kaylee comes out and she was like, do you want another one? And I was like, I guess I'll take another one. Fuck it, while I'm here. It's not that I won't drink it or not, or I won't give a bottle to a friend or something.
It's like, can you just twist my arm?
Yeah.
Just twist my arm.
Because I figured it, you know what's going to happen is somebody, one of our friends, or, you know, they can't get it, is going to say, hey, Dan, can you send me a bottle of it?
I mean, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I highly recommend it. If you want a nice, refreshing summertime drink, 100% recommend it.
I drank a lot of that the other night, and I was a bit.
I mean, it's what? Elderberry, Sprite, and a little bit of
Lime juice.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
3 ingredients. Super simple to make. Super easy.
That elderberry will get you.
Yeah. And it's funny because, like, the one bottle says moonshine, the other bottle says rum. So I'm not sure what they're really going to call it. Because originally, I think there was a Fucklehead variant of the elderberry. But now it's just the Leatherwood elderberry.
Well, I mean, it's got sugar in it, so.
Technically, it's rum.
Yeah.
At that point. But I don't give a shit. It's good.
It is very good.
So, I mean, that's one of those shocking things that comes out of a tour and a tasting is you get, you know, you find something you might not have been going in looking for and you're like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this
I mean,
works
and
out.
then sometimes with distilleries, like for instance, right, Leatherwood is very rustic, very military-esque.
Yeah. Militantistic?
Militant? No, not
Military?
not a militant. Very military,
Very patriotic.
forward, very patriotic, right? Lots of special operations swag on the walls, flags, banners from different units. A lot of lineage and history.
Yeah, it pays homage to Andy's career.
Right? And you know, so it's very interesting. So even though right now they don't technically do a tour, you can literally spend probably a good hour just eyeballing all the stuff on the walls.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot that's going on.
And then if Andy's there, you know, and you get 1 or 2 in him, you can talk for hours. So
Yeah, you can ask him all kinds of questions at that point. And he's very candid. He'll tell you, you know, if you get pointed questions, you want to know about his career, or you want to know about how he got into making bourbon, or, you know, whatever your questions are, which is another great thing about these distillery tours is that you get to talk to the people that own the place.
yes.
When you get that chance and you can kind of see the behind the curtain and see the passion that goes behind their craft, it's like, wow, you know, that's worth the price of admission in itself, just to be able to talk to those people.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, some of these other places where the originator of their juice is long gone and dead.
Yep.
You know, the history, while it's carefully handled and passed down to the next generation, there's a lot that gets lost because you don't have that initial person who was there in the beginning.
Yeah.
So like Buffalo Trace, you got Freddie who's been there and their family's been there for centuries,
Right.
generations, I should say. And he's been able to keep that story perpetuating.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have other places where you lose that and somebody might quit and they go somewhere else. And then, you're like, well, shit, if I don't get a chance to talk to like Casey Jones, for instance, if I don't get a chance to talk to AJ directly,
Mm-hmm.
well, I might get a different story from one of the people that are giving the tours
Right.
because they might have not remembered all the facts. They
Right.
do a really great job of memorizing the stuff. But man, when you talk to the people that actually are the founding.
Peg's full.
Oh, she's full of
Of
stories.
stories.
Love that. So,
Mm-hmm.
for us, we're very fortunate, I think, having all these distilleries within like arm's reach.
Well, I mean, you've got what? Basically the land of opportunity, a 2.5 hour drive northeast of us.
No, dude, we
You know?
got every distillery you could possibly want to go to
Yeah, I mean, it's like
within
a
reach.
2.5, 3 hour drive to Versailles, and you've got Woodford and
Is it Versailles or Versailles?
Versailles. You don't call it Versailles. You can go up there and call it Versailles if you want to, and they're going to be like, who the hell are you? And you can get the hell out of our town.
Because in Ohio, there's a Versailles,
It's Versailles.
but then there's
But it's not for sale.
it's not for sale. There might be some property for sale there.
See there? My dad jokes are kicking in now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are realistic things for people to anticipate when you go on these distillery tours.
And for the love of God, don't be in a hurry. Just go there to enjoy everything.
Yeah, for sure. I think everybody in America right now is so in a hurry. These are
Mhm.
opportunities where you can actually just slow down and just kind of like take in everything and do it
Right.
multiple times because it's like I equate it to. Have you ever been to a Cirque du Soleil show?
Once.
So I was lucky enough to live in Vegas, and they have all those different Cirque du Soleil shows there on the Strip. And every time you go, there's so much going on that you pick up something new
Mm-hmm.
every time you see it again. And it's the same way with these distillery tours is that you might go in and you be really hyper focused on one aspect of the operations. And the next time you go in, you'll be like, oh shit, I missed this because I was so worried about looking at,
Right.
this process over here. I was worried about looking at the fermenter and I missed out how they do the actual distilling part over here with the pot still or a column still or, whatever,
Mhm.
a square still. So I think it's great to be able to go back because every time you go back, you find or see something different that you didn't maybe recognize that first time you went through.
Right.
So, and at that price point of like $20 to $50, I mean, shit, that's cheaper than going to an event. I mean, if you pay
absolutely.
for Taylor Swift tickets, you can go multiple times as these distillery tours. So,
Even the really big distillery tours.
yeah. So I like doing these tours. They're great. We've got a ton of them on the schedule coming up. So
Yeah,
for
we
those
do.
of you that are paying attention and watching our stuff, just keep in mind we will post what we can when we do talk to these folks. Because we do it for you guys. I mean, it's great for us because we get free bourbon out of it half the time. But
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
That's pretty. It's a pretty accurate statement.
that's one of the perks I think of like having a podcast.
Yeah.
There's not many perks.
No.
But that's one of the perks I think that we've got so far is that when we get access to some of these places like 10th Mountain and Henry
Right.
Rollin and Casey Jones and Leatherwood and, more and more that we go to and even getting to knowing them on a personal level, it kind of gives us like a,
You definitely build some pretty interesting networks.
Yeah.
And sometimes they tend to morph into actual friendships.
I agree with that. It can. And I think because we're in such close proximity, we can frequent.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Another great thing about doing the distillery tours is you might be there when they're doing a limited run or a limited release.
Oh, yes.
Which is something that we've been lucky to be around for in a couple of them. Seeing products that they haven't put out yet, they're getting ready to.
Casey Jones has been doing that a lot lately.
Yep. And
They've
that's been
released,
great.
2 5-years already?
Yeah, and
So-
they changed the bottles for their other special release where it's like the cylindrical looking.
Mm-hmm. And then they've finally gone international.
Yeah. So it's I don't know, man. That's like one of those things where if you guys are looking to do distillery tours, I highly recommend doing it.
And if you haven't been to Casey Jones in a few years, you got the Rick House. That's supposed to be coming up pretty soon to be tours. So
Yeah, and MB Roland, they just made their Rick House, and it's huge and
yes, it is
nice, and they got this huge mural on the side of it, which is beautiful.
I absolutely love the farmhouse.
Yeah,
and then you have the downstairs bar, the upstairs tasting room. Like
Cass's Corner,
yep, Cass's Corner is
Yeah.
absolutely
like that.
amazing.
It's a very intimate setting.
It is.
And then you got Old Glory, which we were trying to get in there. Hopefully we can get into those guys soon. But they have a restaurant, which is nice. I went there with Brian when he was in town for that Whiskeys of the World or whatever that thing was called.
When was that?
That was a couple weeks ago. He was in town.
Was
you were
I?
out at the property. So I met him. We went to that. Had some meal there. Got to taste their product. Tried their gin because he really wanted to try their gin as a curious person that we are in this industry. We all want to try everybody's stuff, and that's kind of the name of the game is just seeing what everybody's doing, see how they're doing it differently, what their little spin is on stuff, and then
Right.
be able to do a little comparison. I'm like, okay, take some notes as like, all right, I like how you did that. Maybe, we'll do that in our runs.
I didn't know they had a restaurant.
Yeah, that's new. That's like, I
But
wanna
it's
say
like
last-
an actual
it's
restaurant.
an actual restaurant. Yeah, it's a legit restaurant. So they've got that. They've got the shop where you can get all the products and stuff, and then they've got their tours that they've got. So Old Glory has grown immensely too since it first opened.
Yeah,
years
it has.
ago. I mean,
Yes, it
almost
has.
10 years ago now. Gotta be.
And then Leatherwood is
They're exploding.
leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
I mean, Leatherwood has their own drag cars now. Anyways,
But yeah, distillery tours,
you should go try one.
absolutely. Of the ones that are within our reach, which one would you recommend people to start with
Mm,
that we've been to? We'll caveat that.
I mean, I would say, Casey Jones is a nice one to go to. It's definitely off the beaten path, so you got to drive a little bit. But you're guaranteed live music at the end of the evening. There's going to be a food truck. The tour's not very lengthy. But as far as like atmosphere and homely and rustic, MB Rollin was probably my favorite so far.
I like the down on the farm field
Yeah.
that MB Rolling has.
You had the corn on one side, the wheat on the other. You had the farmhouse in the middle, which is the gift shop, along with the tasting room. So, I really enjoyed MB Rollins.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. I enjoyed all of them so far. For me personally, because I'm a little more bougie, I liked Casey Jones, the way they're set up.
Yeah.
Because it's more like if you're at somebody's bougie ass house and you've got the lake view out on the deck.
Yeah.
And you're out there sipping on your drink and you're just hanging out and you got the live music playing behind you. It just feels like, like you're at some celebrity's house party or something
Right.
to me.
I liked all of them we went to,
Yeah.
but it's MB's was just that more down on the farm for me.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking, hey, let's go get a bite, let's get a drink and hang out, I'm going to pick Leatherwood.
Yeah. And there's, I can't wait for their next establishment that opens up downtown.
Well, they've got the
Clarksville.
barbecue joint down in Pleasant View.
The queued up.
Yep, the queued up barbecue down
That's
in Pleasant
really
View,
good.
which is where the original distillery was.
Yep.
Now they have the distillery off exit 4.
Yeah.
Over by Star Spangled Brewery.
Yeah, they're over there
Yep.
with all that industrial area, if you
Yep.
want to call it that.
And then they're getting ready to open downtown.
Right. And that one's, I'm excited for that because that's going to have like a restaurant, a whole viewing area of the distillery going on, the process.
Have they broke ground yet?
Oh, yeah.
Do
Oh,
they
yeah.
have a timeline?
I forget what Andy told me.
Oh.
But he did tell me. We were drinking. So.
Imagine that. You're at a distillery and you're drinking.
Oh, no, we were at his house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you and Zach went out.
Yeah, we went over to hang out with him and Jordan. So Jordy was in the pool. Zach was in the pool. He and I were bullshitting, trying the tequila. And then we got into, we drank that 107, 109 proof bourbon. Not the rye. He's got another one. The bourbon is higher proof.
Oh, really?
We haven't picked up yet. But,
Okay.
and that one was good. So it was cool being able to do that. And like we were saying before, like, you know, you get to be on a personal level with some of these people and they'll invite you back to their houses and hang out. So I like it. It's been a neat adventure so far.
It has. I
Um,
would agree.
So for you guys that are interested in our merch, I'm wearing one of our awesome Tony the Toad shirts. You're rocking one of our hats that you can't find on the merch store, but you
could possibly win if you're a Patreon subscriber.
But you could possibly win on a raffle. Same with the one that I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm.
These are ones for once a month. We do at end of the month raffles. We give out to those of our subscribers. It could be a Whiskey Grail cup that's got our logo on it. It could be a decanter that we have that's coming online soon. It could be a hat, could be shirt, could be a number of things. I mean, we might even be able to get some autographed distillery exclusive bottles. So you just got to stay tuned because we got a lot of things that are coming into the fold, and you have to be a member of our Patreon in order to be a part of that. So links will be in the description below. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe, share buttons. It helps us out, helps the algorithms get our podcast out to more people so we can grow and earn something and maybe be able to provide you guys better content than what we're doing now. If you guys do have any comments or suggestions, we're open to that. Whether they're good comments, bad comments, it don't fucking matter at this point.
Definitely let us know if y'all been to Distillery Tours. What was your favorite? What distilleries you would recommend us checking out?
Yeah, for sure. And then if you don't agree with us, that's fine. We like some discourse, you know. We like to debate. We're up for it. But
I mean, we're master debaters.
you're the most masturbator because you like to fish, so you're great at baiting. Hook, line, and sinker. So until on that note, until next time, hopefully you're drinking your favorite drink. Hopefully it's bourbon. If not, well, you might want to decide on changing that to bourbon. But until next time, get sauced. Cheers.
Cheers.